And we got to be careful in here because we don't want to slam this bumper. And it looks like we're going to slam the bumper. Oh, you know what? I didn't even make sure that we had a signal. Okay, we are back in episode 2, working the AB45 local. And our next stop is going to be Joe Piper Industries. We've got some box cars that we have to pick up. And we've also got some box cars to drop off. So we only have to go up just a little bit here. And then we're going to cut off some cars that we want to leave out on the main line while we make these other switches. We're going to be picking up these empty center beams. But that will be the second stop. So we got to stop just before this switch up here. So we can drop off a few cars. Because we don't want to bring everything we've got right now into these industries. Alright, let's get out here, and we need to cut off. We're going to be taking that center beam and these 3 box cars. We want to leave these gondolas out here. Now, a little tip. You can use the space bar. The space bar does some special things. If you click this, see, I applied the handbrake by clicking up here with the mouse. But now on the next one, on the next car, if you press the space bar, it'll repeat whatever you did last with the car. So if I press the space bar, it applies the handbrake. I don't have to go up with the mouse to click it. Again, I can come here, highlight it, space bar, applies a handbrake. So you can kind of go down the line real fast without having to move the mouse up to that handbrake square. But if, for example, I click Tagger and open this window, now the next time I click the car, if I hit space, it's going to do that. It's going to repeat that last thing. So just a little quick tip. Makes it a little bit faster. I want to close both of these. I don't want to lose the air here because we're going to be picking these back up in a second. And we'll pull ahead a little bit. And we just got to clear this switch right here. We got kind of a hill here. Really picked up a lot of speed there. All right, we're gonna go that way, and we need to flip this one as well. And we're gonna be heading back to Joe Piper. We're gonna have to make a few moves over here because we got quite a few boxcars at Joe Piper. I gotta flip this switch because I want to go right here because I've got some pickups. Or first I want to hook up to these over here because these need to go into the industry. These on the right are ready to go out. So I want to grab these first. Alright, now I can use F7, get everything laced up and filled up with air, and turn the tags on. So I need to pull out, these out. Actually, I need to pull the whole thing out first. That's the first move. Because I want to get these outbounds and the outbounds on the back of this cut on the left. I want to get them all together. Then once I get them all together, I'm going to push them back onto this side track, and then I can get the new ones, which I think are, let's see, these are loaded. So we're dropping off loads to JPI. One thing, if you looked at the top just a second ago, under brake cylinder, it had 4 psi. And that is because sometimes when you use the F7 to do the air hoses, angle cocks, and air for all of it, when you hook up to a new cut and you hit F7, because all of a sudden the air kind of fills up, but it's not totally full on all the cars yet, but it gets them full enough to where you can move them. It will add a few psi into the brake cylinder on the locomotive. Not all the time, but it does it often. So just be aware of that, because I was just driving with the brakes on the locomotive there at first. I didn't realize it had done that. And then all you have to do to fix it is just bail them off. Or just hit, the bail key, and then it'll bring it, the BC brake cylinder back down to 0 if that happens. All right, now we're going to grab these and pull them out. So watch up at the top. Oh, actually, all right, so we've got 72. I got the independent on. I can hit F7. So now we've laced all these up. Everything's full of air. F5 to release all the handbrakes. And now we're going to pull forward. But when I release the independent, take a look and see if it goes to 0 or if there's a few psi. All right, so that time it worked. But once in a while, you'll get it where it leaves a little bit in there. And then you just got to bail it off. We got a car going to Chattanooga, Tennessee, a few for New Orleans, and I forgot what SEL is. I have to check my spreadsheet. So hopefully this track along the side is long enough that I'm going to put all these outbound empties there just for a second so I can push in the full loaded cars. We're going to have to go all the way to the back there. Max this lane out. And hopefully this is long enough. I haven't tested it. We might be in trouble. But I think we're going to be good. All right, let's see where we're at here. Did we get enough cars in here? We did. Perfect. All right, so I can... Where's our... Where's our outbound? Starts right there. So I want to set handbrakes here. We're going to leave these on the side just for now. And then we'll pull forwards. I think we might have just too many cars, one or two too many to fit inside of this building. But we're going to find out here in a second. Oh, yes. I think we can only do 5. And we got to be careful in here because we don't want to slam this bumper. And it looks like we're going to slam the bumper. We came in a little hot, but not bad. It was a gentle touch. We're okay. Got our handbrakes on. Now let's see. Yeah, we definitely can't drop all these off, so that's going to be a problem. We might have to just take... Might just take a few back to the yard with us. Let's see, we're gonna have to cut it. Yeah, that one's not gonna be able to stay, so we're gonna have to cut it on this one. What is that, 5 in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all you can do. We're gonna leave that open. Close that one. Oh, too much stretch force. There we go. Pull them forward. So I think we might just keep these 3. We'll bring them back with us, and we'll send them back here on the next time this local runs. Because I talked to the manager, he said they got way too many parts as it is. From these boxcars, they're not in a hurry, so they'll be okay. So we'll grab this big cut of outbounds, and then we'll move on to the next industry, just over where we came in, to this area. All right, lace everything up, pull off the handbrakes, and we'll send them out. These are all outbounds heading back to Norris Yard. Our next drop is at that warehouse you see in the background, that big covered, looks like a lumber place. I think it's called BLX. Now I'm using, in case you're wondering if you play with the depot maps, I normally use the depot industry configuration, but for this route I'm starting with the guide, the PDF guide that came with the route when you buy it. And so I have not applied any depot business names, so that's why the names that I'm using right now are different than what you'd find on the depot server. I'm sure eventually I'll switch it over to their industry config and their maps, but I kind of wanted to just follow along the guide that came with this route first and see how it goes. So I think what we'll do is go back out onto the main line, drop off, since we're right here, we'll drop off all these outbound boxcars that we just picked up. And then we'll back to this, where we're going to be going down this track you see in front of us, down this way to BLX. And we just have this one center beam for BLX that we got to drop off. But I think there was 3 or 4 that we got to pick up. So we need to couple to these and then shove them back so that these are all out of the way. Then we can go back in here. All these gondolas, empty gondolas, are going to STI, which will be our last stop, and those bulkheads with the steel are going to BRL, which we're going to drop at Bessemer Yard, and then CSX has an engine that takes those the rest of the way to the Birmingham rail and locomotive. So I just want to drop, we got a few, those 3 are for JPI. We're going to bring those back. Actually, all right, we want to leave those 2. We want to drop these outbounds and those all on the main here, because those are going back to Norris Yard, and we'll just keep this center beam with the wrapped, I don't know if this is wrapped, should be wrapped lumber. I know there's one car in here that has, I think, wrapped drywall. This should be wrapped lumber. That should be enough to get the job done. We're going up kind of a steep grade, so this is going to slow down pretty quick. And all the cars should bunch up, which is what we want, because we have to take that coupler slack out. See them bunching back. See that, how they bunch back up? Now we'll set some handbrakes. Close both of these. And we'll take it forward. Oh, I gotta flip this switch. We're gonna be going down that way. Let's see here, before we hop back on, let's just see. We're going down this way, and we want that way, and we're gonna be picking up these 3 center beams first, these outbounds. We'll move them over to the side, then we'll put the loaded one in, pick up the outbounds again, and hook back onto our train, and then we're heading over to Bessemer Yard. One quick little thing here, when you hop on a car, you can look around. So I'm hanging on now. One thing I wish they would modify in Run 8 is make it so that when you press the button to go to the ground, it maintains wherever you were looking. So for example, like right now I'm looking backwards. If I wanted to go to the ground and I hit the I have it programmed as the number 2 key, but that's not the, I've changed all my button mapping. But anyways, if I press it now, see how it faces me to the car, which, you know, if you're climbing down, you'd probably be looking at the car. I mean, I get the idea, but it's kind of a little bit frustrating because you want to be seeing straight. So what I usually will do is I'll hit the button that makes you free fly, which I have programmed as key number 3, and then I'll hit number 2 right away, which puts you on the ground, and that maintains that forward view. So like if I do it now, watch. See that? Like I was floating for a split second and then went to the ground. But now I'm looking straight ahead. I don't have the camera. Same when you attach, like just there. If I'm looking straight ahead and then I attach, I think it locks me into this view, and then I have to go back to this view. So it would be nice if it would just maintain whatever camera view you had when you attached or detached. Sign here. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, I called the foreman before I even left Norris Yard, so they knew I was coming. The first time I did this local, I didn't remember to contact the foreman. I just started pulling cars out, and I almost got fired. The guy came out just livid, screaming. Alright, F5, pull off your handbrakes. We will hit F7 to lace up the hoses, fill them up with air. And let's pull these out, and we'll set these outbounds on this track just to the side of where we are. Right on the left there. We'll put them on that empty track just for a second so we can get this loaded center beam back in here. Alright, let's take these back. Now, a little tip here too, if you don't have too many cars in a situation like this, I guess we're going uphill, so we're already slowing down. So it's not a big deal, but you can set your handbrake on the car on the rear to help you slow down, but also to bunch the cars up so that when you go to uncouple, you're not having to worry about too much stretch force on the coupler. So I can set this rear handbrake. That'll make sure everything's bunched up and slow us down. Leave this open so that the air dumps as it's staying here. And let's hop back up in the cab. I forgot, I want to use the, it's more fun when you, oh, we got to turn our headlights on. It's more fun when you use the lever drag. It adds a little challenge, and it looks cool because like you feel like you're actually moving the levers, you know, like you see them move and feels like you're actually driving the train. Whereas if you just, I'm using my keyboard. I've used the rail driver. Sometimes I go back and forth with the rail driver, but I kind of find the keyboard is just simple and easy, and then I don't need a rail driver up on my desk. But when you use the lever drag, it feels more realistic versus hitting a key on a keyboard to, you know, stop, which is obviously not keyboard super realistic. Oh wait, we gotta pick up those other ones. I started talking, I got a little distracted. I forgot we gotta pick up the still those outbounds. I can't even imagine what my boss would have said if I would have left those there. All right, BLX is done. Now we are on to Bessemer Yard, where we got to drop off these steel. These steel beams are going to BRLs, but we just drop them off in Bessemer. Oop, we gotta flip the switch. There we go. All right, now we can. Now, actually, I don't even need to use F7 here. So I'm going to show you. First, I'll just pull off the parking brakes, and we're going to see these slide forward. But because I bottled the air in all these cars, and I didn't, this is still closed. All I need to do now is connect the air hoses, and then I can open both of these all the way, and we're perfectly fine, because we didn't have, if these had no air, then you can't open them all the way, because then it'll flow too fast and you'll go into emergency. But so you don't have to use the F7 all the time if you do it, if you're doing it the right way. Just the F7 is nice if you pick up a new cut of cars that are completely out of air. It just speeds it up, because it could take several minutes to fill them all up. Okay, so now our next stop is Bessemer Yard, which is just a little bit further up. So we're going to hop back in here and let's take it forward. So we're going to want to go completely past Bessemer Yard to start. And I'm going to drop off those bulkheads with the steel beams. We'll back those into the yard. So we want to go all the way past. don't want to get going too fast here. Maybe we'll do 30, because it's not that far up here. Maybe a mile. Oh, you know what? I didn't even make sure that we had a signal. Let's see here. We need to go. We're right here, I think.
Norfolk Southern detected. Milepost. We're 5. We're point 2. Track. We're.
I think we are just going to the next block. I should have done my homework here and made sure that that I knew where I was going before.
Norfolk Southern detected. Milepost. We're 5. We're point 2. Track. We're no diesel. Total. Axle. We're 2. 0. No transmission.
Alright, let's stop here, and I guess I could have called auto on the run, but you know, I gotta play. I'm trying to get a promotion, so I really need to play it safe here. Alright, so let me check the guide. Check the map. Bessemer Yard is just past milepost 151.6. So that is... Oh, you know, this must be... This is just... I wonder if Otto will even give me a signal here. Let's see. I just call him up. Because this is an intermediate signal. I wonder why this is red. Normally this would be like saying approach medium or approach as you lead up to the next control point. Because this is not a control point signal. Yeah, see, he just says call me at the next control point. This is where I need the expert railroader's help, is to explain in this situation, you can't just go through the red. Is this a stop and proceed then? If you have a double red like this? I would assume, because Otto's saying call me at the next control point, meaning go ahead, but I got a double red, so it must be a stop and proceed. I don't know. This usually doesn't happen in SoCal. In SoCal, even if you didn't call Otto ahead of time, you would get an approach medium and then an approach and then a red at the next control point, and then you can call Otto and get a green. But you'd almost never get a double red like that, even after calling him. So let me know in the comments if you know more about how that works. That's kind of cool, these containers over here. Or looks like old parts of a bridge almost, containers. I don't know if I noticed that before. Alright, we're back on the run, but we got just a little 150. Wait a second. 152. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, so we only got like a half a mile, and we should be there. I really like that detail, where you look down the street like I just did and you see houses and the road keeps going, and it's really a nice finished look, where sometimes in SoCal, you know, being the original route, you can, it's very good, but sometimes you'll see where, you know, roads will just end, like it's not finished. I know it's not designed to look beautiful from looking down from above. It's designed to look great from in the cab or if you're walking on the ground, and it does look awesome. But I'm just saying, they really did a nice job on this brand new AGS route, polishing off a lot of those little details that just make it feel that much more realistic. So we can see Bessemer Yard right up there. That cut there, I think we're picking up, and we're going to be dropping off the steel beams that we've got currently. This is a neat little depot here. That's interesting. Oh yeah, that's right, because that's not... That actually it is. That's main one. Why is it not showing... Oh. I was gonna say, why is it not showing up pink on the map here? But it's because this switch is like reversed. So it's actually lined. No, it's not. Yeah, it was lined in properly. Now it's straight. But it wasn't showing up. Normally, if you have a switch on the main line that's not lined correctly, it turns like a pink color. purplish pink color on the dispatch map, but it wasn't there. So I don't know. That might be something they gotta look at. That's kind of a nice feature because you can look at your map and see right away if you've got a switch. If you've left a switch thrown the wrong way, you can quickly fix it. See, up here we've got an approach signal. And then the next one way up there, I think, is the probably the Burstall crossover, it looks like. So I don't know why that last one was just showing a double red and not a flashing yellow. But anyways, we're going to go through here. And then we're going to back down into one of the open lanes, drop off these steel cars. And then we're going to have to move this CSX engine. We're going to drop off the steel cars. We'll maybe put them on this left track. We're going to be picking up all of these. Yeah, we're picking up all these to bring back to Norris. So we're going to have to get this guy moved out of the way here too. So once we get past that switch right there, we're almost past. So what I'm going to do here, a little trick, I'm going to hit Shift F1, or no, Shift 1 and the 1 key to save that spot. Now we want to go this way. We're going to go this way. This is kind of a tricky one too because both these switches are like right on the exact same spot, so you don't really know exactly which one does what. Now if I hit Control and 1, it puts me back to the saved spot right here where at the switch where I had just saved this location. How are we looking in the front of the engine? We're not going through the signal. Oh no, but we're very close. Got it just right. And that's going to do it for episode 2 of the AB45 Local. Stay tuned for episode 3. We'll finish switching out Bessemer Yard and we'll head over to STI.